Good afternoon and welcome to On the Spot Motorsports Media. I'm your host, Mitchell Gunter, right along with Robert Simpson. And I tell you what, we've got a great show. We thought we were just going to have Brayden Davis on, but we also have Brian Oehler joining as well. So it's going to be really great. We're going to talk about them two coming together to race in 2026 and also actually look back a little bit at what Brayden accomplished in 2025, which is a great story in itself. But before we get into that, we got a few commercials that we want to share. So hold on and we'll be right back after these messages.
Reliability to drive thousands of miles. Confidence for those who fly high. Redline oil products give you the power to crush the competition. And a track record of being the best. Redline oil products. You push it to the limit, we'll protect it.
Ready to take your engine to the next level? Scorpion Racing Products delivers precision-engineered, high-performance rocker arms that dominate the track. 100% CNC machined in the USA with aerospace-grade aluminum for unmatched strength and durability. Our rocker arms handle extreme conditions with multiple ratios available to fit your needs. Backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. When performance matters, choose Scorpion Racing Products. Proven, reliable, unstoppable.
With more than 30 years of engine and drivetrain experience, Big Stuff is your one-stop total power management solution. Whether you're controlling a 600 horsepower street car and want the best drivability, or have a 6,000 horsepower race car, need the most foolproof, reliable control hardware, Big Stuff can do it all. All of our components are designed and manufactured right here in the USA, including our computers, wiring harnesses, touchscreen displays, and more. Nothing is built offshore, and we take pride in being one of the only automotive aftermarket manufacturers that can say this. Learn more at bigstuff3efi.com or connect with us on Facebook and Instagram for more information.
Well, Brayden, Ryan, I'm glad y'all were able to join us tonight and talk a little bit about y'all's Pro Stock Motorcycle program for 2026. And mention that, I wanted to start off, congratulating Brayden. He was our Rookie of the Year pick and actually had the time at Gainesville Raceway during the Amalie Oil Gator Nationals to present that plaque to you. Ryan's trying to find a better signal right this second, so he'll be joining us momentarily. But yeah, wanted to get that out there because I think he deserved it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on tonight, Ryan and Brayden. We appreciate you and y'all's crazy busy schedule, Ryan. Ryan, you're literally here in Florida taking care of another vehicle, and Brayden, you're in Georgia taking care of everything. But just like Mitchell said, Brayden, first we wanted to say congratulations to you. We OTS presented you with the what we feel is the Rookie of the Year in Pro Stock Motorcycle. Can you hear us okay, Brayden? Can you hear us okay?
I cannot hear anything.
You're going to just restart it because I had to restart mine.
I can hear it now.
It comes right back on normal.
Okay. But you can't hear me?
Okay.
Got you. I had a good intro, too.
And it goes away. Yeah. Now I can't hear anything either.
Now you can't hear nothing?
All right. We're both going to restart. I'm coming back.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. They're both going to restart real quick and come back in and see if we can get the audio things taken care of.
It happens like that. It happens like that. We're all working and just kind of crazy busy.
Yep,
okay.
That's
what about now, Brayden?
When you're live.
Can you hear anything now, Brayden?
I can hear. Loud.
Okay. I just did a wonderful intro congratulating you for being Rookie of the Year, the OTS Rookie of the Year, and you didn't hear any of that wonderful stuff that we said. But in all fairness, OTS chose you to be as Rookie of the Year for 2025 based on your performance, especially in such a short time. So we just wanted to tell you, from us to you, congratulations for that. But I got to tell you, gentlemen, y'all had – I tell you, it was amazing y'all coming together as a team over the winter time. Tell us how that happened. How did that happen, changing teams and coming together?
You want to take it, Brayden?
I'll let you take the first part, and I'll join in if you say something wrong.
There you go.
I mean, we clearly seen what Brayden had to offer. I mean, Brayden comes out into the pro stock motorcycle world, and everybody that watches saw, the kid's a prodigy. The potential with him behind the handlebars is unlimited. Obviously, as he grows and learns, I mean, there's switching from one platform like a Suzuki V-twin to the Buell. Obviously there's a difference there in the characteristics of the motorcycle, so he's going to pick up and run with that. But there's it's already been a short period of time, but he's proved himself already that his package is going to be top shelf as soon as he gets comfortable on whatever it is he riding. It doesn't matter. So we've seen that, and of course also seen his drive and his dedication. So our team and we've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time to bring somebody into the team that was a top caliber rider. And Brayden and myself and other members of our team, we all became good friends. Brayden was already really good friends with Brad McCoy, who he's raced with in the PDRA and in the Man Cup series and the other series that are out there that he's competed with in Pro Mod. And so they've already had a relationship, as well as Brad has had a relationship with his dad and his family, for a long time. So, we all just kind of clicked, and we said, if the opportunity is truly there, and our team today, the opportunity is actually there for us to bring somebody in, because the biggest problem is we've had these moments where we've had performance, but reliability wasn't there. So you bring somebody in and you go, man, we're really ready to put somebody on another bike, and they'd say, well, how many runs you get out of a pro stock motorcycle? And you say, well, today it's somewhere around half to 4. We're not quite sure. So now we've got some reliability. The package is finally coming together. It's taken us several years with the Gen 2 package to get it to be reliable, and we're having a couple little hiccups, along the road right at the moment. But that's stuff that we understand and we recognize, and we've got the fix for. So this year should be really interesting. We're going to give Brayden everything that we can give him, the best that we got, and him and I are going to try to go toe for toe as teammates and see what we can do and what we can put on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Well, and I tell you, just looking back at last season, I mean, like you said, he came out just in a few races during the season, was able to make the countdown is pretty remarkable. But to go to 4 final round appearances that last year, I mean, holy cow. I can see why you had your eye on him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody saw it. There wasn't one person in the class that didn't recognize his performance. Now, granted, he was on a Vance and Hines bike, but aside from that, it was still his ability to command himself and his reaction times. I don't know the stats, but I guarantee you add up his reaction times for his elimination rounds of competition, and they're really well.
Right.
We didn't see anything outside. We didn't see anything that wasn't just amazing for someone's first time out throwing the clutch on a pro stock motorcycle. So
right, agreed.
We're super excited to have him with us, and we're going to try our absolute best to go toe to toe with the big money teams out there and make the real underdog story of our team even more successful.
Well,
makes sense.
one thing Brayden did say when we talked to him at Gainesville, that he feels a little bit more comfortable on y'all's motorcycles because that is more something that he is used to. I guess you're a little bit used to that wider body.
Yeah, I mean, you Brayden jump in here. I mean, obviously the V twin and Suzuki
Yeah.
are two totally different things, but I think he's comfortable with us on a professional level, on a friendship level, and I think when you're racing one of these bikes, my biggest thing, like I competed out here now. This is my 10th year. When I was coming off a Pro Mod Harley into Pro Stock, I won every single race in 2016 on a Pro Mod Harley except for one. I got into a Pro Stock bike. I was hungry. I was ready to it didn't matter who I was next to. I wanted to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got that same demeanor. And he's got all this confidence, and he's got to be confident in his machine. He's got to be confident in his team, and it all has to mesh. And I think that what we can bring to the table as far as, hey, we're going to show him everything we got. When we're tuning the bike, him and his dad and me and Brad, we're all working together. When we look at the data, we're all looking at it together. And, that makes someone confident in their team when you get to see everything and you get to see the data and the results and then the aftermath and then work from there back down the racetrack again.
And that was something to like answer, what you said, Mitchell. Like when I said I feel more comfortable, these bikes we have to weigh 630 pounds. My Pro Mod's 630 pounds. So I kind of knew how to maneuver that bike. And but like it goes back to what Ryan said, I get to be hands on. I get to see everything that's going on and help make decisions, and it helps with my dad being right there as well.
Right.
So, it's a comfortable, laid back environment. And when you can get in that, your confidence goes way up and you just have, I don't know how to explain it. You never get nervous. Like, what's going on. You just go up there and ride the bike and, do your best.
Yeah, you're right. You're riding it like it's a test pass at home. Oh,
Yep.
man, is that echo from me?
Yeah.
I'm trying behind the scenes, trying to get a little better.
Okay. It's still probably bad. Tell me if it's bad, fellas, and I'll.
It's good.
It's good now? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just have to back away. But no, what I was going to say, Brayden, is you were starting to mention to us at Gainesville, what is basically you as a rider, change in platforms as a rider? What did you have to change? I know your riding style is still the same, but what did you have to change? Was it the bike reacted different, or being the weight difference, it responds different? I mean, what did you have to adjust?
So from the Suzuki, obviously they're 660 pounds, so that's 30 more pounds right there. On the Suzuki, when you corrected the motorcycle, you really had to put a lot of body English to it while trying to stay behind the front fairing, because a Buell is a little more forgiving if you do have to lean off of it than a Suzuki. But the main thing when I got on the Buell is you don't have to lean as much because they are lighter, and with all the torque and then spinning the tire, if you lean a little bit at the wrong time, it can really kick you sideways and shoot you toward the center line or to the wall. But on the Suzuki, I always sat straight up like Gage and Richard and surged real hard because those leave a lot softer. Right. And when I tested with Ryan and the team for the first time, he told me, is like, these snap a lot harder when you throw the clutch in. They do. So that's why as Gainesville went on, you see me kind of changing my riding style each time a little bit. I didn't want to get way out of whack and it affect, the run, and Brad can't get a solid baseline tune-up on it. But I kind of found my sweet spot in the first round. We were round 2 late, but first round I found out how I needed to ride it, and it was the best run I've made since I got on the bike, and we really even ain't got to its limits yet. So I'm really ready for Charlotte.
That's good, especially in the heat. I mean, Gainesville being one of the hotter Gator Nationals in years past. So, and it showed, because I mean, both you and Ryan mentioned, you know what I mean? It's like going on the qualifying passes, you could tell where it chattered a little bit. I say chattered, that's probably not the right term on a motorcycle. But you could see witness marks, let's say, on the tracks, like going, okay, you could see where, hearing y'all two describe, you know what I mean, when it kicks a little bit or whatever it maneuvers, and just how much.
We just lost you, Robert.
Yep.
But while Robert works on that, I got a question. What do y'all do, Ryan and Brayden, when y'all are getting ready to get ready for a race that's so far off like Charlotte? How do y'all keep yourself mentally prepared for the lights to drop down?
Ryan, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I know what Brayden does. Brayden don't let no dust settle. He's out there racing motorcycles all the time, you know. And
Right.
We are working in the engine room constantly. You know, we brought the engines all home, and we looked at, you know, the problems that we had. The 2 motors that we ran on Sunday were perfect. They looked wonderful. We didn't see anything wrong with them. The motor that was our best performing engine, it had a lot of little issues with it, and we're sorting that out. So our best top performing engine was not at its best ability either. So we're gonna go ahead and work on that, and we have been. We've got some good things that are going to come out of that. So, and aside from that, we're testing next week in Rockingham. Got everything ready to go down there and spend a day at Rockingham next Wednesday. And, you know, it never ends. You know, you always hear in our sport, all the people who don't live it, you know, what do you guys do in the off season? Or, you know, oh, I bet you're glad the season's come to an end. You're like, season doesn't ever come to an end. I mean, the last race may come, but you always have these aspirations of in November, oh, we're going to be in Bradenton, or, you know, somewhere in Florida in January, December. We're going to be in December. We're already going to be ready. And then it just doesn't ever seem to happen. You got to, you know, Matt this year, he was probably the first out to be tested. Matt was had a quick turnaround after Pomona, and he was probably the first team that was out on the track making laps. And they went to Bradenton. I think it was, I want to say 1st of January. It may have even been December.
Yeah, it was really early.
And it's just the same thing. They didn't want to let any dust settle. They knew that Bradenton wasn't the place to really go for what they wanted to do, but they didn't let dust settle. They wanted to keep everybody active on the bikes and making laps. And you know, it's hard to do that in Illinois. So we try to make Florida our little, you know, off-season home, and we set up shop down here. We've done it, you know, several times in the past years, and that's kind of what we're doing now. We left the rig in Charlotte so that we didn't have to commute the rig back and forth. And we don't need the bikes at home. We just need the engines right now. So we've been putting the engines in a transportation vehicle and moving them back and forth.
Okay.
Now, Brayden, you got a race coming up in 2 weeks at Gainesville, so you're going to be traveling right back and racing in the Man Cup. Can you tell everyone what class that you'll be running then?
So I'll be racing in Pro Comp with my Pro Mod drag bike. And then I have a Kawasaki bracket bike that I'll run in Super Comp, which is the 890 index class in the quarter mile, and Pro ET, which is just your normal, you know, bracket class in the quarter.
Yeah.
And then I'm supposed to be riding a buddy of mine's bike in Top Gas, which is a 820 index class. So, you know, I'm happy to be going down there. Broderick Jackson, aka Hollywood, as we call him. He's been doing a lot of great things with the Manufacturers Cup, and Burmax actually come on as one of the sponsors this year for the series, so that's pretty awesome. You know, but it just feels good to be able to get back on a bike, especially after that. I think we only have one weekend off until Charlotte. So it'll just, help me kind of stay in, even though it's a different bike, it'll help me stay in the rhythm because at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and cut the tree and ride to the best of your ability. So all of it's got something in common.
Well, I tell you what, you're running all those classes at Man Cup. Are you even going to be able to take your leathers off any and cool down?
Most time when I put my leathers on at 8 o'clock that morning, they don't come off till 11 or 12 that night. So
Oh boy.
and it's gonna be a hot one too down there.
Yeah,
I
like
know
Gary
it.
said, that's gonna be rough. You're gonna have ice packs all packed in you and all
Oh
that
yeah.
kind of good stuff. But I mean,
Yeah.
you're looking forward to it, so that's a good thing for sure. Now you started mentioning uh the Buells. Now does that it really does match your bike that you and your father race? It matches it more than the Suzuki platform, does it not?
It does in certain ways. On our Pro Mod drag bike, it goes back to what I said, what Ryan told me on the Buells, they snap a lot harder when they leave. So with us
Right.
running a slider clutch in our Pro Mod drag bike, I mean, when you let go of the button, it snatches a knot in your tail. I mean, it really does. And you know, it, and we're normally in fifth gear on our Pro Mod bike at two, two, 2.8, 2.7, 2.8.
Really?
And on the Buell, it's one of them deals. On the Buell, we hit sixth gear right before the eighth mile call. So, the way the gear ratios are in the Buell, it's just I could relate more to it. Like I know
Gotcha.
what to expect. On the Pro Stock Motorcycle Suzuki's, the gears are dragged out a lot more because of the ratios that are in it. And, some people look at, if you ain't rode nothing real fast, that is fast to you.
Right.
That's like, oh man, I can't keep up with the gears. But for me, it's hard for me to wait because I'm just ready to, go, go, go.
Right.
Not taking anything away from them. They're still fast. It's just I'm used to real fast shift points.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, I call it getting behind versus being on it. You know what I mean? And like for example, if I even tried to ride something even quick as a motorcycle, I'd be so far behind it. It would take me a while to catch up. So that makes sense. But you also said something about the bikes being lighter, that it's easier to. Well, one, it has a little more leeway if you have to put your head out of the fairing a little bit to move it. But I take it that the bike is somewhat easier to maneuver back and forth. That's what you were talking about going down track.
Yeah, it's on the Buells. I mean, they're like I said about the Suzuki's. As heavy as they are, they're much less forgiving if you have to lean. So, I mean, if you have to lean out from under the front fairing, you're talking 2 to 500s easy.
Mm.
Um, where the Buell, it may be 100th or something like that.
Hmm.
It's just because they have so much torque and they're running so hard out the back.
Right.
You don't have that extra weight dragging you down as you get down the track. You're 630 pounds, but like I said, the main thing on the Buells are they're always going to spin. You just have to find that right wheel speed.
Right.
And you got to be careful not to make a correction through first gear because getting it off balance the slightest little bit, I mean, it's going to knock the tire loose and you're going to lose 260 foot. So a Buell is harder to ride than me as far as making them run fast consistently.
Mm-hmm.
A Suzuki is more forgiving in the 60-foot department. You can screw up a little more and still go 104. So the Buells really do rely on you for the first 100 feet of the racetrack, I feel like.
Huh. Okay, that's a good explanation right there. I mean, because I always thought that, like you said, the torque, because obviously the Buells are known for their torque, that, yeah, that makes sense. That's the first 100 foot that you have to, I can't say manhandle it, but be more aware, finesse it a little bit if you would, in order to get it going.
Yep.
Well, there's Ryan. Now, Ryan, you're Ubering yourself now.
Hey, I can't be hanging out in the parking lot that long at the pizza place. because this place is calling my name. I had to hit the road, you know.
Oh, okay. I thought they were dropping off ones like, hey, on your way, can you deliver this? You know, get a tip. You know?
Hey, I will do just about anything for money, so don't hesitate. Make the offer, you know.
I got you.
That racing program isn't cheap, is it, Ryan?
No. And there's one thing that, you know, we've been digging at, and you know, another, you know, not to change topics, but, you know, in the class and the things that we're working on, it's always performance is number one, but you don't have performance without the finances and bringing Brayden in. You know, Brayden may have years behind the handlebars, but we're trying to help him and teach him the business side of things, which y'all have seen that, you know, that's something that I've really focused on, and that's how I've been able to stay out here for 10 years. So, I mean, Steve Johnson's our best mentor to that, and Steve took me under his wing when I first came out here and did a lot of mentoring to me and you know, taught me a lot of the basics of what you got to do to put together presentations for sponsors and what you got to do to get them excited and keep them interested, and return on investment and everything that goes along with the business side. So that's another whole topic that we've been, you know, that I'm introducing to Brayden, which I know he's no dummy to. He understands it, but being out here and doing it's another thing. And and we're working together on that. This whole relationship isn't just him riding our bike. It's a total partnership, and we're working together to stay out here, you know. And I want to see Brayden out here all year long, and you know, this is the first year. We'll see what happens, but if the performance is there and we work strong together on the marketing side, there's no reason that we can't put together a package that's going to be super solid for the rest of the year, and then, you know, potentially years to come.
Right. Yeah. And I tell you, you know, you brought up Steve Johnson. I have seen Steve Johnson make daggum marketing partner deal in the pits right before first round of qualifying.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it. You bring people out, you get them excited. If they haven't been there before, the NHRA is a very exciting place to be. You put a potential sponsor up on the starting line, and you're going to blow their socks off. I mean, it is an unbelievable atmosphere that, you know, this arena of drag racing provides. So people that haven't been there before, I mean, I've been, you know, we own a heating and cooling business in Illinois, and I've had customers of mine that for 20 some years, I finally bring them to a race, and literally they came to St. Louis, which was at the basically end of September, and they're still talking about it today, how amazing it was. And you know, I think a lot of first time drag race fans that get to go, and you take them that very first time and you put them up on the starting line, that's not a usual experience for someone to get to come to an NHRA race. So yeah, I can see how it could stick with them, you know.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think, you know, one of the things that's so attractive, I think, to marketing partners is the point that it's not just the racing on the track, but it's the opportunity for the fans to be able to walk to the pits and meet the drivers face to face, shake their hand, and I think that is a very important part.
Totally, you know, and that's what we try to bring to our team too, is that you bring these marketing partners from wherever we go, Charlotte, Georgia, Florida, Texas, California. You bring these people and you bring their network, and you bring them out to the track, and you put them in your pit, and you have lunch, you have dinner, you have, you know, everything that's happening around you, and suddenly you're not just a fan. You're part of the team. You're part of this atmosphere that's and really make value to.
Yeah, he's breaking up a little bit, Ryan.
It's hitting the tunnel.
You lost me?
But
Well, you're starting to come back. I think you're in some wooded area.
Testing 1, 2.
there you go.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
you mentioned that. Like I can go to Brayden and I'll say, "Tell me about powertrain," and Brayden can tell me everything about powertrain, what they do to the very period of a sentence, and that right there is what innovates and moves customers to a company.
Yeah, and it's one of them deals too. Like when you do partner with somebody and you're representing their brand and they're giving you money, expecting you to go out there and compete and win, talk good on camera, and talk good to the fans. Um, you got to know how to describe them. You got to know how to help them out on the business side. It can't be just a exposure deal. Like you actually have to do business with them. Um, I'm a strong believer in there's no such thing as, oh, if you get it exposure, that's going to bring more business to you. I'm not saying it isn't true, but if you're not really doing something behind the scenes helping that business out, the chances of them making more money so they can continue to sponsor you is low.
Completely agree with you, Brayden, because we had the opportunity to meet the Durant's family, the owners of Powertrain, there at Gainesville, and I did not know them from Adam. Okay, just walked up, guys, you know me, just I can talk to anybody, and just got talking to him, and I said, man, it's a wonderful company to come on there. I said, I need to learn more about him. The guy turned around, well, what do you want to know? And I said, well, I want to learn more about him. And he just started talking old home week, and I said, I said, okay. I said, how do you know Brayden? And then he introduced himself. I said, okay, that explains it. But it was everything that you had already mentioned to me. You just mentioned, but I was trying to get a little more information. And he was very, very helpful. So it was what I'm getting at is everything you said was exactly what he said. So it goes in line. And you're a big believer of it because I could tell from your family, y'all have dealt with them before and with their equipment and things like that. And it's like, Ryan, I wanted to talk to you. Mitchell and I both agree, and I don't see anybody that would disagree with this, is you got one of the best looking haulers, best looking teams, best looking sponsors, and you're very, very, very active in marketing. Okay, we saw you have a big display at PRI. We've seen your displays at the track and other events when we went to Indy and other things. I'll tell you, how in the world did you get involved with El Bandino Yankee Tequila?
Well, that's so owning a heating and cooling business in Illinois. The owner of El Bandito resides in Bloomington, Illinois.
Okay.
And he has other business ventures that he's been involved in throughout the years. So I've taken care of his heating and cooling needs for 10, 15 years. And when we were we were successful out on the racetrack, he had launched El Bandito right there in 2020. And we had just come off a win in Vegas, the season opener I'll just say Vegas, came off a win in Indy, the season opener in 2020, and then a year later we won Vegas, and that's right when their company hit the ground. So we came back from Vegas, and Scotty, who's been on our team now for several years, had the winning hat on, and Jim Bob, the owner of El Bandito, was in his bar, and Scotty walks in. Literally, he just got home from Vegas. Like, he drove home from Vegas. He parked the rig. He went to his house, and his girlfriend works at the bar, and she says, "Hey, Jim Bob's in the bar." And he said, he wants to see you. So Scotty literally turns around, goes to the bar, and when he walks in, Jim Bob says, "Hey, what are you going to do? These gambling machines just hit me for $1,200. Scotty took his hat off and chucked it to him, says, "Hey, that's the winning hat from Vegas. Does that settle it?" And that's how the deal really got started. So
okay,
so
that's the best one yet. That's the best one I've heard yet. You go into a bar, throw your hat down, and there you go. And it's
it's the truth, So then we worked with them, and then the first year they saw that we weren't they weren't just marketing with us. There wasn't just exposure. There was direct sales. We were selling tequila. We were selling it through the racetracks, and motorsports became responsible for a large percentage of their company's sales, and that's how it stayed going this long. And then, aside from that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Ryan's struggling today.
Okay. Yeah, it's just one of them things. It's just one of them things. It'll come back, but it's bitten all of us. That's for sure. But back on to you, Brayden. Okay, Powertrain is come back on board with y'all this year. Who else are you working with currently?
So currently, Robert with Nutsense, he had come up to me in Gainesville, and he's kind of mentioned to me a little bit. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna sponsor you, this, that." It's just little laughs here and there. And in Gainesville, yeah, I mean, he come up to me in Gainesville and looked me dead in the eye, and he's like, "What's it take to get my sticker on your bike?" And I'm not gonna say the price on here, but I told him my price, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna give you this." It's kind of like,
okay,
of course, I'm not gonna back down from it. But Powertrain is on board with Gainesville, which is already completed, Charlotte, and South Georgia. And as of right now, I know Ryan's been working on a couple deals. I haven't talked to him besides tonight. It's been a while. We've both been real busy.
Right.
But as of right now, I haven't been able to get in touch with too many other people. I have one that sponsored me last year. He's going to kind of let me know something at Adel.
We talked about that, but we're not going to mention it right now.
And I'm really, I'm pumped up for all the events that I get to attend. But South Georgia is like one of them deals, man. Like you got Powertrain in the house with Terry and Angela. Very local to here. I mean, hour and a half, but it's local enough. Everybody knows them, and I can't wait because all the guys at Powertrain is going to come down and hang out and get to experience it. I mean, it's just going to be to win there, which I know is jumping the gun a little bit, but just theoretically speaking, if we can win there, I promise you that whole place is going to erupt. Because it's a bunch of hometown folks. I mean, it's gonna be fun.
Got you, Ryan. Got you.
Phone died.
Oh no.
Well, we can relate. Drop a cylinder, now a phone. It all works. No, it all works. But no, Ryan. What we were talking about. When you had the phone issue, we went to Brayden and we were talking about Powertrain in the companies that he's working with right now as far as marketing. And you were telling us a really cool story, I might add, on how you got involved with El Bandito. Okay. Now, what other marketing partners are you working with now?
All right, so there's the big surprise. I've been waiting to tell Brayden this. Get ready. We got a new sponsor for Charlotte. Bigfoot Forestry. You gotta wear the Bigfoot costume though, Brayden. All right.
That's fine with me. I'll do it.
Now, Bigfoot Forestry has worked with me in the past, actually, and there's pictures of it. Charlotte, we got Bigfoot Sasquatch. I'm on the bike doing the burnout, and this Bigfoot's like hovering right here, and
was that last year?
No, it was probably about 3, 4 years ago. But
I can't remember what event we went to, Mitchell, and there was a guy doing that all around the pits and stuff. I'm like, what in the world?
Well, sometimes you find a guy to wear the Bigfoot costume too, and he's not maybe like 100% aware of that he's standing right next to the Pro Stock bike in the water box, and at the whole time I gotta compose myself to do my job. So, but Bigfoot's coming back. It's coming to Charlotte. So we got Bigfoot Forestry coming, and that just landed literally today. So we've been working on them, and they may do some more races with us. But they're a company that it's a franchise, and they work to clear land for development purposes and stuff like that. So, but they're fun too. You know, the owner, Ben, that I've worked with for a while, he sees, he sees the value in NHRA, and he sees what we can provide. And so we're excited to have them on board. And every race, everywhere we're going now, we're hunting. We're so thankful that Powertrain's been with us for the first 3 races of the year. We're hoping that maybe we put a win on the board, or we have some success here and keep them involved. I know that they're involved, their hearts, like their passion is supporting Brayden and the team and our team, and we're super thankful to have them. But it's a lot to ask for anyone to come out and work with all these, with teams. It's hard to really show a return. That's the real challenge. Any sponsorship that you can show a direct return, you have immediate a line of people. Like El Bandito was the best example, because when they saw, we sold 1,300 cases of tequila. Well, they started to see, wow, we really need to have more heavily involved.
Right.
It came with a price, though. It's not like they just sold 1,300 cases of tequila and it didn't cost them anything, though. So this is all this business balance. So, right. The other big thing is each state we go to, you run into these businesses and you run into these people who maybe they've been fans, and then all of a sudden now you say, hey, bring your whole company. Bring your company to the racetrack. Johnstone Supply, being that I'm a heating and cooling contractor, Johnstone Supply is a franchise in heating and cooling. They have like 500 stores across the country. So they've worked with me when we're in the Midwest, and we invite all these other heating and cooling contractors. So at St. Louis, it's not my territory. Bring 50 heating and cooling contractors to the race. Like, that's wonderful. And give them that experience of being on the team and with us, and see what we have to offer. And it goes on then to any kind of walk of business that you can come up with. You got big time realty firms and lawyer firms. They take out hundreds of people out on deep sea fishing recruits and golfing events at really elaborate country clubs, and spend a ton of money. And they start to do that over and over every year. It's, hey, we're going on another golfing trip. We're going out deep sea fishing again. I hope you all got Dramamine, because I know you got sick last time.
That's what I was going to say.
And you go, have you guys done something with NHRA drag racing? And I think, when you get them interested and they say, you bring them to that first time, I think then they're hooked. And that's what we're working to do.
Yeah. That's actually a good explanation. And also the way that you mentioned, which is true, if you've never been to a race, if you've never been to an NHRA or a professional drag race, or even your local track, you need to go. You need to go experience it. You need to go support it. Okay, because that's where it all begins. and to experience the professional cars, Top Fuel, Funny Car, Pro Stock bikes, to experience them live and in person is way different than TV, and way better. Just the sounds and the way they hit, the gear changes, and hear them things in high gear, and then you see the impressive ETs and mile an hours that come out of, a little over 600 pounds. You know what I mean? And 2 cylinders. I mean, big 2 cylinders, but 2 cylinders. But still, a little over 600 pounds, naturally aspirated. You know what I mean? And to run high sixes at over 200 miles an hour is impressive. I don't care who you are. It really, really is impressive. And also something that NHRA and this style of racing offers, which others don't, is fans can get up close and personal. They can come up and talk to you. They can come up, talk to Brayden and other riders and racers, and see the companies you're involved with, see the products that you're working with in the companies. So you offer something that is special that other venues don't offer.
Yeah, just mention all that. I've talked to a bunch of people. They've been to NASCAR races and stuff like that, and they're like, man, the access, I cannot believe the access that you have when you come to an NHRA event. You're lucky if you even get to see a driver outside the car, more or less be able to walk up to them, shake their hand, get an autograph. And, that's that's one of the bonuses of NHRA. And I think another great thing for y'all as riders in NHRA series is they get to actually see you on the bike.
Right.
I've talked to a lot of other racers that race pro stock motorcycles, and they all say the same thing. You can't see the drivers of Top Fuel and Funny Car or Pro Stock, and y'all offer that where it gives a extra marketing tool. Not only could they put their logo on the bike, but they put the logo on y'all's leathers as well.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's just it all comes together and all works together. But Ryan, let me ask you something. What's the biggest challenge working with the Buell? What is the biggest thing? I know you've been working on. You said you're working on some things that have plagued you a little bit. A little challenging here and there. But what's the biggest thing with a Buell that is a challenge?
Well, I mean, for starters, the concept hasn't been out there. Like, the 4-cylinder concept, that is the number one concept of how to make the most horsepower per cubic inch in an engine efficiency out there. I mean, that's it. It's extremely efficient in making power, and it's been out there and been flogged as a performance package for years. And the V-twin obviously was undermined. My dad was one of the first to really take the pro stock car type of initiative to get involved with drag racing on a Harley level in the 80s. And a lot of roadblocks, a lot of things he had to overcome, and a lot of really things that were difficult. And the same thing now. We have this motor that's extremely challenging, and it's underdeveloped. It hasn't been totally utilized. Matt's done an amazing job, but Matt's been there since the beginning. Matt was involved with the Buell program and SNS from the beginning, and we've been out there a while. We're no strangers to the V-twin category, but every V-twin is different. When you go to 5 1/8 inch bore and 3 7/8 stroke, you had a very different animal than we had in the Pro Mod Harley. 4-inch bore, 4 1/2 inch stroke.
Right.
I got this.
Yes, honey.
Aw.
Yeah. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Here, get
Hi.
over here. This is Kinsley.
Hello, Miss Kinsley.
Yeah. Say hi. You ready to go to dinner?
Okay.
We're,
I just forgot something.
all right.
We got the
but
message.
The truth is that what we've been doing is flogging it. We've been working on all the things that we know and taking our tool bag of tricks and been going through all of them. And we finally, we've been with the Gen 2 program now, which the Gen 2 versus the Gen 1, just for everyone listening, the Gen 1 Buell motor that first came out was your typical Harley Davidson style engine. It was knife and fork connecting rod, roller bearing crankshaft, cylinders that came off the cases, et cetera, et cetera. It was basically a Sportster motor on steroids.
Okay.
The Gen 2 tried to alleviate problems that we had with the Gen 1 with crankshaft failure. They did an offset cylinder so that you could run a one-piece billet crank with side-by-side connecting rods. That was the biggest change, so that we could get through this crankshaft issue. Because when you have a multi-piece crankshaft like a Harley Davidson style crank that you press together at 10,000 RPM, it's trying to come apart. I mean, that's bottom line. So you take a brand new crankshaft, you put it all together, and you get a couple runs before the pinion's out 14 thousandths, and it starts to slow it down. So anyway, that transition for us was harder because we had a really fast package in the Gen 1. And, I contributed a lot of that to George Bryce. I mean, the package I got was completely, put together and conceived by George. The cylinder heads, the chamber, the piston design. We had a whole bunch of different cam profiles to work with. And when we took that package and we worked with it and we tried to hone it in, we were fast. Our reliability went out the window. So then when we jumped ship and we went to the Gen 2, there was a lot of things that we had to figure out. It's got a one-piece billet crank, but these connecting rods are doing this, and this connecting rod's twisting now, and we're breaking this, and then we have an inefficient combustion chamber, and so it takes a long time to figure that out when you're out there beating the trail of the NHRA, trying to race, trying to keep sponsors happy, and meanwhile, you have a development program going on back home, but we're not Formula One. I don't have a development program with 16 guys in the shop and 35 engines and 3 engine dyno cells. I have my dad, and I have Donnie with him now, or another guy, and they work around the clock. I mean, they work literally 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. But when you don't have $1 million budget, you find something you want to do, you know it's going to be beneficial, you call the company, you get it developed, you order it, you wait for it, and you call and beg and plead them to get it to them, to get it to you today. And you can only do that so much before they stop answering your calls.
Right.
So long story short, we've been down the road for three years with the Gen 2, at least 3 years, and we finally cracked a couple eggs this winter, and it wasn't anything miraculous. It was basic principles of development with V-twin engines, and we just have done a better job with everything now. We've done a better job with our bore. We found some changes in our cam profile and our combustion chamber, and the power is now it set it on the engine dyno. And this test session when we went out here in February, I was not, like in the past, I'd go, this is it. We're going to kill them. And I just stayed modest, and we showed up, and it went 675 and 201 off the trailer, basically.
Yeah.
So we knew then that at least our work showed the results on the dyno, showed it on the track, and now we can continue that path that we're on.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of sounds like, you have to take little steps to get there so you don't overshoot trying to find that right happy place for the engine.
No.
They are, I mean, there's just so much that goes on, and we've done it. We've seen lots of different problems sneak up on us. I mean, even at Gainesville this past weekend, just normal racing problems. We hurt our best motor.
Right.
And it was really our fault. There's a couple things with our A motor that weren't quite right, and it's all because too the development of switching connecting rods. We just had just enough time in the off season to get them in, get them on the dyno, get it through, change the cylinder heads, and then you missed this, you missed that. So we found that out, unfortunately, in Gainesville after 2 rounds of qualifying. Switch motors around, and then we had a coil wire break on Q4 on my motor. So now why'd you just lose a tenth? And you go through the motorcycle, no, simple thing, coil wire's broken. And so to be competitive and to win rounds, you have to show up. You have to come in with the motor that is proven and tested. You have to make the 60-foot go from 108 to 107 to 106. You got to go in the right direction all weekend and show up on Sunday with having 4 rounds of competent data to dial in that round of elimination. Hopefully you qualified well enough to not have to race, someone that's right on top of you, like an 8-9 matchup, or something like that. The class is so tight, but that's racing. So that's when, you got to bring your A game to the first round, place yourself well through qualifying, and these teams like Vance and Hines and Matt that have done this years and years and years, they've got their recipe together. They're ready to go, and it shows it. The wind light comes on for them a lot. So it's our turn for the wind light to come on. And we're going to keep, I didn't go on this diet and to go to the gym twice a day, and we don't work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week to just show up and have fun. The fun's going to be winning rounds.
Well, and actually, you showed hard work, even with the difficulties facing both y'all, getting on the bike first time and some of the mechanical issues that, I mean, a 681 to 683 in qualifying. So y'all were very, very close, matched in performance. Okay, so it's good, and it shows that now that you got two bikes out there that you're drawing information. It sounds like that you're drawing information off one to go to the other and vice versa, since there's, I mean, clearly that close initially in the performance. But yes, the 675 off the trailer for testing was a jaw dropper. I mean, that really was. And Brayden, you were right there at 680 something. I mean, something like that off the trailer too. So I'm like going, whoa. So y'all definitely got something in store. Okay.
Yeah, definitely a big swing in the right direction for sure. How excited are y'all about going to the Ford Wide Nationals coming up in Charlotte? And how do y'all have to do anything to prepare differently for that? Because I know it can get pretty chaotic trying to stare at all the different lights on the tree. Or do you basically just close everything out and just concentrate on yourself?
Me personally, I love the 4 wide format, mainly because you only got to win 3 rounds or finish second and 2 and then win the last one. But my thing is, a lot of people in the class, a lot of them don't like it. Me, I thrive off of it because I know there's people's more bound to make a mistake. That just gives you that extra chance that you may not have had in a 2 wide format. It's one of them deals where the only time it gets tricky is if somebody doesn't stage in time. You need to be counting because as soon as the third person gets in, if you ain't counting, you're gonna get left behind. Because I promise you, the other ones are counting, and you ain't gonna win that round.
I got you.
There's some complications to it, but I didn't know how I would like it running it for the first time last year, but I really enjoy it.
Well, like you said, you get two chances, to make it to the final. If you can't get there to be the first to win the round, as long as you're right there at Sackett, you never know. Like you said, you never know what can happen. In the final round, you could go up there and 3 bikes go red.
Yeah. We've seen weirder things, right? Things definitely happen for sure. But I tell you, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all this year, since y'all have come together as a team, and y'all both have that drive, and that's what's great. Y'all both got the drive. You both got the experience, and Ryan, I wanted to hear from you. Now, Brayden, we learned on how Brayden got his start and how he raced. But Ryan, how did you get start racing motorcycles? Period.
Well, I was born in a high-performance Harley race shop. That's where I was at. My dad raced. My dad started in Pro Stock Car, NHRA in the 70s. Couldn't afford to be involved. Shifted from his Pro Stock Car to a brand new Harley Davidson in 1981 and sold the rig to a Chevy van and turned it into one of the world's fastest gas Harleys. And that's the same time that I was born. So I was witness to all that. And our biggest problem is we didn't have any money. We had a cylinder head business that provided for our family. And as I grew up and, we were very fortunate to get involved in a business that started to be successful as far as making money. And that was our heating and cooling business. And then I was going to college, and I said, at the time I'm going to college, I said, I want to go pro. I've been racing, bracket racing. I've been doing all these different Super Chevy shows and street racing. And I want to go to a heads up pro class. That was my goal. I never really thought I'd actually make it to NHRA, but I knew that I wanted to race in a pro heads up class. So I took out a $35,000 college loan and started building my first Pro Mod Harley in 2007. And I didn't get it running until 2010. And then, you know, the whole time, this process, I'm going, oh man, as soon as we get it running, I'm going to beat these guys so bad. My dad's the best. Like, he's the best. And I mean, it's that process it takes and that value that I learned of taking something from being qualifying at the very back and development to get it to be number one. I mean, I got to live through that, and that's the most valuable thing I think I've been a part of in my racing career, is to show up and run 9 flat, and the next year run 870s, the next year run 850s, and the next year run 830s, set the record, and then jump ahead almost like we went 817. The record was an 830, and at that same time, I won every race that year but one. And I went, okay, you're riding this wave of success. Like, we've got it going on. We need to go to the deep end of the pool and play with the big fish. And that's it. You know, NHRA Pro Stock. How am I going to do that? You know, I mean, like, I don't have any money. I had been working with George and Jackie Bryce. And literally the story is, I'm in an attic. I'm in the ghetto. I'm doing a blower motor on an air handler. It's 140 degrees, and my phone rings, and it's George Bryce, and they made me a deal. Said if I could make payments on a Pro Stock bike, and they needed $10,000 down, and I had $10,007 in my bank account, and I said,
you had.
Then I got out of the attic and I paced up and down the parking lot. Wondering how the hell I was going to pay for the rest of the money that I owe him on the deal I just made. And, you know, that's the bike that Brayden's riding. That is the bike. That's about the first bike I got, and we've updated it and cleaned, you know, with the help of Mike Mullaney and Brad McCoy. That bike's a lot cleaner and a lot lighter than it was, and it's still in good shape. It's going straight down the track. We'd love to have another brand new bike. My bike's brand new, that Mike Mullaney has built in the last couple of years. It's a little bit different design, lighter, but you know, we're fortunate enough to have what we have. The bikes are fast, and you know, it's cool to be here and doing what we're doing. Of course, I would love for this to be my full-time job. Like, if I could just do this every day and be, you know, 100% dedicated NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle racer, and that's my business. I mean, that would be fantastic. It's the struggle that I have to try to operate another business to provide for everybody and keep everything on, all the wheels turning, and come out here and race Pro Stock Motorcycle and wear all the different hats. And that's a very, very challenging situation.
Right.
Well, I tell you, you know, you brought up Jackie and George Bryce a lot, and I tell you, they are two of the most wonderful people in the Pro Stock motorcycle world. I got to know George for quite a few years, and I'll tell you a short story, and you got to know they have love for their fans. Our son was in the NICU for 4 months. I had to get away from the hospital a little bit, so I went out to Gainesville, and George and we talked, and I asked George, I said, would you mind running stickers, Pray for Zane, Gunter, on the Pro Stock bikes this weekend? And he says, you bring me the stickers and we'll put them on there. And by God, that's what happened. They put the stickers on there. Not only did they run them for that race, they ran them for 6 other races as well. And just a true testament of their love for the sport, and also for the spectators that come out. There's not very many people that would take up a space like that and put a sticker for somebody on there, but George and Jackie.
First class.
Great people, but I'm very fortunate that they took me under their wing. So,
yeah, first class for sure. Now we got to know, how can everybody follow both of y'all? How can everybody follow Brayden? How can everybody follow Ryan? How can they do it?
Take
Go
it,
ahead.
Brayden.
Take it.
So you can just I'm on Facebook. You can just look up Brayden Davis, and if it pops up several other people, just look up Brayden Davis Racing. I have a Brayden Davis Motorsports page. I've been meaning to make a post about this. I don't use that page anymore, and the reason for that is most of my followers are on my main account, and I don't want them just to see the NHRA side of drag racing. I want them to see everything I do, all the behind the scenes, whether I'm racing, hunting, fishing, being fun, whatever it is. I want the fans to feel like they can walk up to me and it's like they've known me for years. I don't want it to be
Right.
awkward or nothing like that. I want them to feel like they have something in common with me. Um, and then you can look up Brayden Davis on Instagram. I'm on there as well.
Well, and I'll tell you, something that I like about what you posted on Facebook the other day, that you wanted to start making clips at the track, what's going on behind the scenes, and I think that is one of the things that absolutely is missing from the sport and from the class.
Yeah, I kind of, me and Mike Melania kind of talked about it, and it's who really inspired me to do the YouTube thing that I said I was gonna start in Charlotte, but I forgot that Man Cup is gonna be before that. So Man Cup is kind of gonna be I'm gonna try it out and
Right.
just see how the folks like it. But Clay Milliken and Chris Moore with More Mafia, like they really inspired me because a lot of people don't get to see, and I don't want them just to see the happiness of everything. Like I want them to see the downfall of things, when it isn't going good and this and
What it
that. Like
takes. What it
what
takes
it
to get
what
there.
it what it takes to run at the top. Because I promise you, it isn't always sunshine and blue skies.
Right. I mean, just like what Ryan was talking about, working with a vehicle, I mean, you have to take care of something there, or being up in an attic working and stuff like that. I mean, that's real. And Mitchell and I agree with that. And because we've talked about that too. We want to start showing behind the scenes of what it just takes is to go, whether it's to a Saturday night or just to go to an event to cover wonderful racers like yourself. It takes a lot of things behind the scenes. So that I think a lot of people will follow it. So when you bring that channel out, if you know what I mean, we want you to let us know, because we want to help promote it all we can. And Ryan, how can everybody get a hold of you?
Well, it's under my personal page is what I've been running with the most. With Ryan Oehler, my last name Oehler. I've had Flying Ryan Racing. We still have El Bandito Yankee Racing, but it's just like what Brayden just said. I've caught a fish the other day. I caught a 4 or 5 pound bass. I put it out there. 400 people liked it. We started joking about it. And the wheel falls off the rig, and we post a picture of that. And where's the wheel at? And
Yeah.
really hope it's somewhere safe. Like a cornfield. But I had my page going at Flying Ryan Racing, and that was my big page, and it got stolen by somebody from. Remember where it was?
Relationship.
Well, it got changed to. They stole it. They were from like Afghanistan, and they changed it to relationship memes. And all 15,000 people that were following me started seeing this stupid hacked crap, and then so we've been on the run ever since. So, but my original OG personal page, Ryan Oehler, is still out there and has a good following. So, I mean, everyone when you get into this says, "Oh, you got to have your business page, and you got to work all this. So you got all this statistical stuff." I don't care anymore, to be honest with you. I just want to post stuff. I want to keep the true people involved, the people we love, and all of our true fans. Just keep them up to date. I mean, when I was racing Pro Mod Harley, every time I left a race, I did a recap, driving in the rig and eating a slice of pizza, laughing with our people. And that got me more credibility than anything. So everyone has been begging me to come back and do it again. And I was like, it's hard to want to go out and tell everybody what you're doing when 3 years of misery has been a part of your life. I mean, it's fun, but we haven't been super successful in the last several years of racing. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I decided this year I was going to come back and I'm going to bring the Facebook Lives back to the track. And we've done it already, and we bring it to the shop, and we're giving everybody the inside track of what it is that we're doing as a team. And that's what everyone really likes. They like to see that behind the scenes, and they like to see the real person, the real raw, unscripted, uncut, unedited, in your face. This is Pro Stock Motorcycle, So, and that's like things like what your guys' program's doing. I mean, it's all these type of programs that come together and put us together in this feed is great. People don't get to see that or hear this, and it's pretty cool.
And keep it real. I hate the scripted stuff. I like it. I mean, where I come from, Mitchell and I, we run brackets and we run sportsman classes and stuff. And you got respect, obviously, for everybody, but you have your rivals. You have your rivals. And I mean, so you need to say that's, however you want to word it, that's my rival. I'm going after him. I mean, something's going to happen. You know what I mean? We got $10 on it, $5 on it. He owes me a dinner, something. But, that's something I think's lacking. Some people script it so much. It's like, no, keep it real. No, I mean, he hung me out on the tree. Okay, I'll remember that next time. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna keep it real with you right now.
Yeah.
I just got to Florida an hour and a half ago with my family, and my wife's pacing around looking at me like,
I got you.
Kill me.
Got
so
you.
I'm gonna be bugging out of here, guys.
Bye.
You guys, I've done plenty of talking for your show, so if I don't get out of here, I'm gonna get hung out to dry.
Oh no, go ahead, go take care of your family. Go get some dinner, Ryan. We appreciate it, my friend. You have a good night.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye. I like that, man. Hey, I get it. And it's
his daughter did say that she was hungry. She was ready to go.
Yeah.
I took it. I was like going, where's the exit? It's like going, so that was adorable. But we want to thank Ryan for coming on for his, crazy busy schedule. He was telling us, ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes, what's going on. Like, gee whiz, we all get it. And also, Brayden, we appreciate you coming on and talking about everything that's going on, the transition, the teams, and also with the wonderful people of Powertrain that you're working at this year. Now, also something else, and Mitchell and I were talking about this, the events we're going to. Okay, if you need anything, literally videos or anything like that, or something live or something in particular that you would like, just let us know. And if it's something that we can help with, we will.
Okay.
What now? What
does Scott call it?
Oh yeah. Hey, we all admit it. If you don't admit it, you're not telling the truth.
Hey, Scott,
okay?
Scott, I am the boss of my house when I'm at work.
Yeah, there you go. You had to say that straight. I saw how close you got up to the mic. We know good and well where your wife's at right now. I do. You know what I mean? Right. That door's shut, So you're going to see that hook come out there and just rip him out of there. So,
I still got to eat supper, so I don't want to make her mad.
That's right. You got to take care of
you could end up like Ryan right about now. That wouldn't be good.
Hey,
I might end up eating cereal.
And he picked up a pizza. Go figure. You know what I mean? So anyway, but that was probably just for him to get him home. But but it's all good. But Brayden, once again, buddy, we appreciate everything that you do, and want to tell you once again, good luck this year, and stay safe, and and keep grinding like you are. And but you're gonna be in Gainesville next week, right? The Man Cup's next week.
It is next week. Yeah,
2 weeks.
I think
Mitch. Is it 2 weeks?
I'll send y'all the date. I can't quite remember. April 10th. Is it 10th or the 12th?
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, that'd be 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. 2 weeks. Yeah. 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah.
But
I remember too.
And hopefully, I'll get out there a little bit and come by and see you and take some pictures and everything, and maybe try to interview a few folks and stuff.
Oh,
I'm going to try to bounce both that and the Lucas Oil race at South Georgia. So I might go up South Georgia and then stop back by Gainesville. So I might be pretty busy that weekend.
Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I might be able to get off a little time of work to go sneak up to Georgia, but we both been burning PTOs, so you know how that is. And
yeah,
appreciate it, Scott.
I appreciate y'all for, having me and Ryan on, and I can't thank y'all enough for, choosing me to be y'all's rookie of the year. That meant a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I walked into the Toter home and I teared up a little bit. I don't hide it that I am an emotional person because things like that mean a lot, especially when you know what you done last year. And Spencer Hyde done a great job. I don't take anything away from him. Um, but in a way, it did feel like I didn't run the full season. I understand all of that, but and not giving myself credit because I'm not like that. But what I done, what the whole team did,
Mm-hmm.
that don't just happen. You know that's a very rare thing to happen. That to get in the countdown in 2 or 3 races. I mean, I don't think anybody's ever done that. But
I can't recall either.
Under those
So
circumstances,
I think that's a record.
Yeah.
no, I mean I say I can't thank y'all enough for that because I mean it made me realize that people are watching and really understand how hard I'm working at this. You know, at the end of last year when I knew I didn't have a ride, I'll cut it short in a minute. I know it's got to be getting late, but me and Ryan, we built a real good friendship last year. He done a lot of talking. I didn't want to interrupt him. Um, but it's me and him built a real good friendship, and it's just one of them deals like we clicked. You wasn't trying hard to be friend with this guy. It wasn't like that, and he found some power, and I was out of a ride. And, it just got to a point where I made a promise to myself when I said I was doing this to be an inspiration to younger kids. I'm not going to let them see me quit. Oh, I ain't got money or I ain't got I'm going to find out a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And as long as you have God in your corner, you can do anything that's possible. I promise you.
Agreed.
I agree 100%. And one of the things I appreciate you entrusting in me, letting me know at the PRI show what was going on, knowing that I wouldn't put anything out there until you were ready to make the announcement, and Josh Hart was the same way. We talked about it. I had already knew he was going to John Force Racing, probably just with a few people, and him putting that trust in me not to spill the beans, and they were ready to make the announcement at John Force Racing that he was going over there. And it's having those trust with y'all professional drivers and riders means a lot to me. I mean, Robert didn't even know either one of them because I was told. You didn't tell me not to tell Robert, but I just took that as confidential,
and I took it no problem. I agree.
Yeah.
And I was good with it. I really was.
Because he asked me. He says, "Is Josh Hart?" He says, "Is Josh going to have a ride next year?" I said, "Oh yeah." That's all I said.
And he said, "Oh yeah, you just wait." And I said, "Okay, that's cool. I get it." But yeah. So Mitchell and I have a mutual respect that way. Obviously, respect. And if somebody tells him something or me something, and they insist it stay with us alone, obviously, then that's what we do, and that's no problem. And it all worked out. It did. But
And I do want to throw a little something in there. And,
yeah, come on.
it's going to kind of stir the pot, but, it's got to a point where last year I did act myself to an extent. I acted a little different. I was trying to be, I mean, I do act professional at the track, of course, for my sponsors and for the team. Kind of a little bit of the words were going around. Oh, he's going over, the Ryans, and they struggled in the last few years. And I can't act, like I've been a part of that and feel that way because I wasn't there to experience it. But I understand how much work them guys do, and they are good at what they do. They're smart. But everybody, gets the wrong end of the stick at some point in time. But when you get on the right end, it's there, But there's kind of a little bit of words going around. Brayden's not gonna be the same, this or that. So I got a message to the haters. We are not gonna stop until we win, and you must believe that because Gainesville, and it's not being cocky, it's just confident, and I trust this team. Gainesville was just the start. We know where we stand now. Now we can really push on it and see how fast we can go. So I'm really looking forward to Charlotte. I know Ryan feels the same way. We have a point to prove. I have a point to prove to myself that I belong up there because I promise you, NHRA is a hard place to stay. There's a lot of down talk, but you got to learn how to get past that. And I just use it as motivation, and it makes me mad, and that's when I race better. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I tell you like this, people's going to talk.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And I'll give you an example. Erica Enders,
Yeah.
last weekend in Phoenix, she ran Pro Stock and Pro Mod, and man, the haters came out on her like left and right. Like
The comments were
Vicious.
like there was no sense in that. Like that's
And
that just.
And I want to tell everybody, that watches this, and if you like her, you don't like her, but you have to respect her, what she's done so far in her career. And I'm telling you, it was not just sugarcoat. I mean, she went through some teams and went through some struggles, just like everybody else does in racing, as they do in life. And she got in there with Richard, and they've been a powerhouse. And then, we've seen it taper off, and they're back in there working hard to get that back. And there is no one out there that works as hard as Erica does. And I tell you, there is not a nicer person than Erica. And I have seen it firsthand, how she treats the kids that come up to her and looks up to her.
Oh, yeah.
It is unreal. I mean, she does a great job. And there's a lot of people, Erica, if you watch this, there's a lot of people that love you just as much as they dislike you.
Right,
Yep.
right. She's
I mean,
a
I
class
remember.
act. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was a little kid, and they was it's when NHRA had their preseason test at Adel, my home track. I remember she was there testing, and I run up with a Sharpie and a yellow Jigs hat. I still have it hanging on my wall, and she signed it for me, and didn't treat me, like, okay, go on.
Right.
Not she let me ride on the golf cart with them to go pick her up, everything. I felt like I was part of the team. I was just happy to be there. But she's a very nice person. So is Courtney, her sister. I mean, some of the most down to earth, nicest people you can meet.
Yep.
Agreed.
Well, I tell you what, during COVID, when COVID shut the Gator Nationals down, after all the teams unpacked everything, got everything ready, they come through and say, we're shutting it down. We're going to go ahead and finish running out the sportsman class, and that's it. And she had a lot of spare time. She took my son, Zane, set him on the back of the golf cart, and sat there for over an hour talking with him.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the person that she really is. And I wish a lot of people would see that she has a really kind heart, and she's good to anybody.
Well, you also got to remember, Mitchell, when you work hard and you're successful, people ain't going to be happy. The ones that have the most friends are the ones that don't win as much.
Right.
Once you start winning, you don't quite have as many friends.
Yeah, it gets a little lonely at the top, I guess.
Yeah, and and Brayden, you know what I'm talking about too. You've been there, done that. But like
you really
go ahead.
You really learn who your real friends are.
Yep.
Your real friends are going to stick with you through the lowest of the low and the highest of the high. And it's a sucky thing to experience. It really is, because when you do good and you finally get on a streak, you kind of look back and, like you said, I'm not saying I'm at top, but I'm just saying it is lonely as you progress, because it's like, man, I don't have as many friends, or this guy looks at me different. But you can't worry about that, because at the end of the day, when you're racing, you're there for yourself. You're there to make a name for yourself. You're there to win money. You're there to, provide your sponsors what they deserve. You just can't get caught up in the drama and worry about it. And that's something I'm using this year in Pro Stock Motorcycle. last year I cared what everybody thought of me. I felt like I had to do this to do that to earn their respect, and I do respect them. But it's one of them deals where I got a name to, I got to make a name for myself. I got to show them that I can run with them, and that's the only way that you're going to make them earn your respect is by going out there and beating them. That's all there is to it.
Well, you definitely have showed them that you're a very talented rider. So, I mean, there shouldn't be any question to that.
No.
But I still say everybody needs to put a 5 spot on the starting line. Everybody put 5 on who's going to get reaction time. And you know what I mean? And just do it for charity or whatever like that, and have a guy or somebody on the starting line with a flag and say this way or this way, for fun. And but because like when we talked to Richard, and Richard just like you, he's very driven and he's very got goals, and but he's you and him talk a lot similar, and I know you know that.
Well, I want to mention what Scott's got right here. He says, I have the signed Brayden Davis Drag Illustrated PRI edition because I have faith in his ability to win on this mule.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, Scott's a great guy. He's become one of my best friends since I come onto the team. One thing I've learned about him is if you take one of those Mountain Dews, put one back in the fridge. I promise you that.
Okay.
I found that out at a preseason testing, but no, Scott's a really good guy. Down to earth, he's honest and he's got a big heart. And I'm blessed and grateful to be able to work alongside him and the rest of this team.
That's good. We got to remember that, Mitchell. If we're ever offered a Mountain Dew at their trailer, we've got to remember that. So it's like, no.
You don't have to worry about me drinking any Mountain Dew because I can't have anything with caffeine in it.
Right. I'll start.
My heart will get the patent so fast you'll have to call 911. Then I have to pick me up, take me to the hospital, and kind of water that sugar down or that caffeine.
He'll be running down the track getting action photos and stuff like that. What's going on?
It'll be bad.
The dude kicked in. He's okay. He'll come back at the 200-foot mark. He's all right.
The doctor said I'm already hyped up enough. They said you're already hyped up enough. You don't need to be any hyped anymore.
Oh yeah, kind of over the top. Yeah, but but I tell you what, Brayden. Once again, we wish you nothing but the best this year, and we know with like you said, your hard work and determination of you and Ryan, y'all and Ryan together, that good things are going to happen. Good things are going to come from hard work, because luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and y'all have got a real true grit about y'all, and it shows. And also, Mitchell and I want to say thank y'all to your team, thank you to your family, thank you to Terry and his family at Powertrain. They were so very hospitable to us when we met y'all in Gainesville, and they didn't know us from Adam. We didn't know them from Adam, but they were just very, very hospitable and very nice. So and that's just goes along the line to y'all's team, and we encourage everybody to follow along with Brayden, with Ryan as they go through this year. And if you want to get involved in Pro Stock Motorcycle, because it's a wonderful market, you need to reach out to both Brayden and Ryan, because you never know. I mean, for goodness sakes, got Bigfoot coming on. You know what I mean? You got heat and air conditioning companies. You got people working outdoor companies, powertrain companies. You got so many different walks of life, that want to get involved. You need to reach out to these teams, or to this team here, because you won't be disappointed. I mean, because they're going to put their best foot forward and going to do the best for you. So we encourage everybody, and also your YouTube channel coming out. Okay, when it kicks off, that's going to be really good. It's going to give people another insight.
Have you ever watched Tom Papkis? That he used to be a crew member for Angel, and if you can go back and watch some of those videos that they done, they're totally excellent. Now, that's someone that we want to try to bring on the show, because not only did he mechanic on one of the Pro Stock motorcycles, but all the trophies and stuff that he makes now for not just the NHRA. I think he does Monster Jam trophies and NASCAR stuff. We're going to try to bring him on there to talk about his path where it has landed him now. And talking about someone who can weld, man, that man can weld. That he's a genius.
No.
Well, got to put some of that stuff together, right?
If you got a second, Brayden, if you
Oh.
don't mind, I'd drop you in the green room. We'll close up the show, and I got a question to ask you.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Brayden. We want to appreciate you coming on again tonight on On the Spot Motorsports Media, and wish you and your family nothing but the best.
Thank y'all for having me on. It's been fun.
All right, my friend. We'll talk to you in just a second. Thank you.
Okay.
Tell you what an excellent show. Ryan joining us. We didn't even know if Ryan was actually going to be able to come on tonight because we didn't know how his flight was going to work. And, hey, he made it happen. And then having Brayden on, kind of last minute. Brayden didn't know nothing about us talking.
Yeah. It was dropped on him.
I said, hey, Brayden, are you good to come on tonight? He goes,
what are you talking about?
I didn't know nothing about it. But yeah, I'll come on. But yeah, just the future is so daggone bright for him. I just can't wait to see where he's at a couple of years down the road, how many championships that he will possibly win. But again, I want to thank everyone for joining the show tonight. Of course, we were live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Kick. But please follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Instagram, as we continue to pick up followers on there. And don't forget, this weekend we will be live streaming the ET Bracket race sponsored by Scorpion Racing Products. So you don't want to miss out on all that live coverage. And again, thank you for following us.
All right, everybody. Thank you all very much. Y'all have a good night.